Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're looking at what I like to call Earth's quiet, life-giving protagonist. I mean, it's something we literally just unthinkingly pave over and step on every single day. Because it's constantly right under our feet, it's completely out of sight and, honestly, incredibly easy to forget about. But here's the thing. Life as we know it simply could not exist without it. We are, of course, uncovering the hidden secrets of soil, which is undoubtedly one of the absolutely most critical natural resources on our entire planet.
Okay, let's dive into this. I want you to really think about your lunch today. Like, where did it actually come from? If you had a sandwich, well, that bread came from wheat. The lettuce and tomatoes on it, grown right in the ground. What about the cheese? Well, that came from a cow. And of course, that cow had to eat grass to survive. Even the ketchup you might have dipped your fries into started out as a handful of tomatoes in a farmer's field somewhere. Almost every single bite of food we eat can be traced all the way back to this one absolute origin.
Section 1. The Unseen Foundation. To really understand why soil matters so much, we need to zoom out for a quick second and realize that our entire global food supply is rooted, literally, in the dirt beneath us. It's a pretty direct mechanism, right? Soil provides for the plant, the animal eats the plant, and then that eventually becomes your food. Without healthy soil, plants just can't grow. Without the plants, the animals have absolutely nothing to eat. And naturally, without plants and animals, we can't eat either. Sunlight and soil are the absolute starting points for this entire chain.
Now, to keep this chain moving, plants have to extract vital nutrients. We're talking specific elemental building blocks here, like nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. As you probably remember from biology class, these elements are the fundamental substances that living things require to grow, to build cellular structure, and to actually stay healthy. They're basically the crucial payload that soil provides to make our entire agricultural system possible.
But you might be wondering, where do those vital building blocks actually come from? Well, it's this really beautiful collision of geology and biology. On one side, you have ancient, weathered rock that provides the essential minerals. And then on the other side, you've got this incredibly rich humus resulting from decomposed life. It is this exact perfect combination of crushed ancient stone and broken down organic matter that gives soil its unique power to support new life.
Section 2. Nature's water filter.
Feeding the world is obviously an amazing feat, but incredibly, that's just one part of the job. You see, when rain falls and soaks into the ground, it has to pass through the soil. And as it does, the soil acts as this massive, natural filtration system. Tiny particles of sand, silt, and clay physically trap dirt, germs, and other unwanted materials. So, by the time that rainwater finally percolates down to those deep underground reservoirs, it's exponentially cleaner than it was when it first hit the surface. The soil literally does the heavy lifting to give us clean, safe well and spring water.
Moving right along to Section 3, the underground city.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the sheer, mind-boggling volume of life we're talking about down there. Let's zoom way into the microscopic level because we're looking at one of the most incredibly crowded habitats on Earth. Get this, in just one single teaspoon of healthy soil, a teaspoon you could balance right on the tip of your finger, you can find up to 1 billion bacteria. 1 billion. You'll also find several yards of fungal threads, which are actually way thinner than a human hair. Add to that thousands of tiny organisms called protozoa and dozens of microscopic worms called nematodes. It is a completely bustling, chaotic metropolis down there.
And it's not just the microscopic creatures doing all the hard work. We've got a macro-level construction crew too. Earthworms, ants, and moles are basically the underground city builders. They're constantly busy creating tunnels and mixing the different soil layers together. And this is absolutely vital, because those tunnels create the necessary spaces for air and water to flow through freely. They are, quite literally, the industrious urban planners of the dirt world. Throw in beetles, grubs, and millipedes, and they all call this sprawling underground city home.
So this is where the soil's recycling engine kicks in. Decomposers, like bacteria, fungi, and our earthworm friends, act as the ultimate waste management system. Their job is to break down dead organic matter into simpler, usable substances. Think about it. Earthworms eat dead leaves and pass them through their bodies to create that super-rich humus we talked about earlier. Without this amazing biological recycling process, organic waste would just pile up forever, and the nutrients locked inside would never ever return to the soil for new plants to use.
Section 4. Time and topsoil. All right. With all that life constantly churning and decomposing, you might naturally think soil is just quickly manufactured overnight, right? But consider this number, 500 to 1,000 years.
That is the immense, almost unfathomable timeline required for the Earth to create brand new topsoil. The soil in your backyard, the dirt you casually walk over to get to your car, has been forming since long before your town was ever established. Honestly, maybe even since before your country existed.
So the crucial point is this, that 500 to 1,000 years of constant biological and geological effort yields exactly 1 single inch of new topsoil, just about 2.5 centimeters. Think about that for a second. An entire millennium of non-stop work from billions of microscopic city builders, all for just 1 inch of ground.
Because it forms so incredibly slowly, topsoil is precious. Once it's washed away by heavy rain or blown away by the wind, it takes actual centuries to replace. This isn't just about losing some dirt in a storm. It's about losing an irreplaceable resource that fundamentally sustains us. And this is exactly why farmers, gardeners, and scientists work so fiercely to protect it. They know the harsh reality. Once that topsoil is gone, it is simply not coming back in our lifetimes or even our great-grandchildren's lifetimes.
At the end of the day, soil is not just dirt. It is the literal foundation of our food supply. It's the natural filter for our drinking water, the absolute start of every land-based food chain, and a ridiculously complex underground city that took thousands of years to build. So the next time you step outside, ask yourself, as our modern cities continue to expand and industrial farming accelerates, how much longer can we afford to treat this irreplaceable foundation like dirt? Thanks for joining me for this explainer, and I really hope this helps you look at the world beneath your feet in a completely new way.